Yeah, I think it's. I thought for our football club and being on a Friday night, it was time to make a stand. And we spoke about, why does the Kangaroos pick us for their Friday night game every year? So it was time to make a stand, and we had to do something about it tonight. The great thing was that it was Ryan Houlihan's 200th, so he's been a great player for our football club. So to have that emotion as well and motivation was pretty good as well.
You won pretty last week. This probably a little bit more out there, I suppose, but no less satisfying, I suppose, the way you are with Brian there.
Oh, no, that's right. The 4 points, that's what we chase. I thought, our execution at times, I think close to in the first half was about 4 or 5 out in the fulls, plus the inaccuracy at goal. So, we dominated inside 50s, something like 26-16. We did get beaten at stoppages, though. I thought we cleaned our second quarter stoppage work up, and probably then the Kangaroos got us in the next 2 quarters. They virtually won 3 quarters there. But in saying that, last year, I think by the end of the game last year, it was 47 our way to 27 their way, and we got beaten by a fair bit. So sort of roles have been reversed this season.
As you said, you had so much of the ball in your forward half. Did you feel like it was maybe always going to be a case of at some stage the dam wall was going to burst?
Well, it's about persistence and, just keep chipping away because, the bit is it can be frustrating. It's a bit like the old-fashioned, set the wall up and, dominate, and it goes through and they score, and that happened a few times. And I thought our point kick-in work was really, really average on the defensive side, and it was more about our backs, not so much about our mids in that setup, and we just got it wrong a little bit. We corrected it after half-time and it looked a lot better, but that cost us sort of 2 or 3 goals by half-time, and we just don't want to do that again because the game could slip away very quickly if you do that. Yeah, very good, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. I think he's just building with his own confidence, and it is a hard thing with the pre-season that you miss after Christmas, 13 weeks, and it's just taken a bit of time and momentum. But I thought his work tonight was probably one of his best games for our footy club. And let's talk about Petrie's form in the last 6-7 weeks has been outstanding. So he played on a very good player and won that battle.
Where do you see him once Jamison gets back? Just giving you flexibility at both ends, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe, but it's. I think will come down to sort of at the end of the season about list management and where who's suited where and things like that. So, but that gives us a real, I suppose, shot of confidence in his ability to go and play on good players back there and do the job because even players in good form and play, Jamo's going to play at full back, but there's going to be games that he gets beaten, so we need to have a plan B and things like that, and Lockie's going extremely well.
Is it a good case study that you're going to be a big patient supporters as well with these young players?
You're spot on. I think where Lockie sits against some of the players that were out there on the field tonight, he's only 21 or 22 years of age. He's a baby, and he's played about 42, 43 games of football. So I think we expect so much from these early draft picks, and I think we have to be a bit patient because they just take time, and you can't put a man's body on them really quickly. They can't build and hold that fitness because it's harder to run with 4 and 5 and 6 kilos heavier. So it's all about confidence for them in their growth as well.
Jody's goal in that last quarter, did you see it as the crucial moment? Sort of you needed the game as the balance. Something needed to stand up and kicks a goal 55 metres out, and it sort of lifted everybody, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it just gave us a little bit more breathing space, so we could, maybe control the game towards the end a little bit with not having to score or things like that. So that was a critical moment to give us a bit of breathing space.
Chris Yaron's game tonight.
I thought he's pretty good.
Had almost 20 running bounces, I think, just off that half back line. Really impressive.
Yeah, we might cut that to about 10 or 12 so we can see the free players that are in front sometimes. But it's a tough one. I think that's, about giving players licence and letting them play to their strengths, but also not allowing them to interfere with the style of play and what we want to do as a team. So we'll probably have to, have a look at that and maybe take, 6 or 7 bounces out of his performance. But I thought his battle with Harvey and, trying to get Yaz into the game via Harvey, I thought it was a pretty good one early, and, yeah, it was something that he'll learn from as well.
Can I just take you up on something you said at the start about, so the club really used the fact that North Melbourne chose this to play you guys on the Friday night game as a motivating factor to really make it?
I think they asked for us, so yeah.
So
is it because we're close geographically together on the in the suburbs, or is it they think it's a great way to spend their Friday night that they get from the AFL?
Do you feel that is there a sense of you've got West Coast breathing down your neck at all, that you're trying to defend your position from them now?
No, it's nothing like that. We're not really worried about. It will be what it is. We can control what we can control, so we'll just push ahead in making sure that we get, I suppose, our game right. And as you get closer to the finals, it's about the rehearsal. We get 22 games to rehearse what we want to actually put into place with that great opportunity about, being one of the 8 teams in the finals and things like that. So this was just another chance for us to rehearse what we want to get out of it, the season, and things that we want to put in place to make sure that we improve in every performance. And tonight we had to play a little bit different, but I thought the effort of some of the, the courageous marking of Dyke and Scotland, and I was just hoping Simo got up on that far side, because he just, he's only a little bloke and he just puts his body on the line every week.
Does this mean that the group's just maturing as well? I mean,
Yeah.
you had that rev up with the Kangaroos, obviously, but they won a game where they're, a really good, solid win against a team that you should beat.
Yeah, I think that's right, Emma. I think with the arm wrestles and those, the fight, do you give up? Do you keep pushing on? And I think our group, when you look at Chris Judd, he's sort of done that for so many times in his career. But I think you look at the group collectively, and I see a lot of maturity in the group. We have got a young backline in, I suppose, games played. But to see Zach Tui, I thought he struggled a little bit early in the game, first quarter and a half. But from that point onwards, halfway through the second quarter, he just won some big 50-50s and he was outstanding. So I think we've got some kids there that might not have the games and experience and the big names, but I think they're going to be very good players in the future.
Was it pre-planned for Bryce to go forward as much as he did, or was that something you just sort of found you could exploit throughout the game?
Yeah, probably not quite as much as we planned, but I thought he was in pretty good nick, and so we just sort of left him there a little bit longer. Yeah.
You don't feel rolled his ankle, and have you got any other injury dramas?
All clear with the injuries. Dennis had the ankle, probably could have pushed through, but he just had a couple of, I think, sprinting efforts that weren't quite at the top of his game, and I thought it was time for Ryan to come onto the ground and get involved.
He might be okay with it.
He'll be fine, yeah. I'd be really, really surprised if he missed, yeah. Yep.
So, any hesitance at all to give Houlihan the substitute's vest for his 200th game?
That's a tough one. I really have to commend, what the AFL did tonight in regards. I think it's a hard one for players who are in milestone games to have to wear that jacket out there and sort of have to do that because they've got photos and the opportunity to run through banners, and these are lifelong memories. And I applaud what the AFL did with allowing Ryan to run out there without the jacket on and do all that, because at the end of the day he'll look at those photos and cherish them, and geez, it would look ugly with a green jacket on and without seeing your number and your own club Guernsey. So I just thought that was fantastic, and whether it's a player's last ever game that he plays to remember that, or other milestones for other players, I think it should be something that maybe is done throughout the competition. So if it's your 50th, 100, if you're going to lead the team out, whatever it is, in a special night for yourself, I think it's great to get those opportunities, not to have that fantastic green jacket on, or red or green or whatever it is there.
Thank you.
Thank you.